Okay, today I'm going to make a video showing a completed 1955 22-foot Chris Craft Continental. This boat came in for a strip and revarnish job and it ended up being a little bit more, and I'll just walk around the boat and explain what I did to it. It's going out today. I'm delivering it tonight. It's here in Elginak. So it came in and the varnish was in pretty bad shape, and the hull side, almost every seam was opened up in the hull side. So I went ahead and stripped all the varnish, and I refastened the sides, the hull sides, and a lot of that deck too. So they got refastened where the screws needed to be sunk a little bit deeper. I did that and rebunged everything, both hull sides. And the way I addressed all those gaps, which ranged anywhere from like 1/8 of an inch to down to like 10/1000ths of an inch. I cut little strips of mahogany, all different thicknesses, and fit them in and glued them in. And there's some videos on YouTube showing how I did that. Then I faired the entire hull down, and including the deck. I also refaired the deck. The deck was kind of like a roller coaster. It was all over the place, and now it's nice and fair. Here's a shot of it. And also these deck seams were opened up. Like this seam right here, and I've got some videos showing that. This seam was opened up to about 1/4 inch. And this covering board was loose. There's a video of me putting a ruler in between there, a little stainless ruler, and moving it back and forth, and you can see that nothing was really secure. So I went under there and to find out what was going on, I popped out all the bungs in these covering boards. Someone has been in here before, and there were a lot of screws that were just missing. Some were broken, but I'd say about 1/3 of the screws in these deck covering boards were just gone. So there was nothing holding it to the shear shelf. So what I did was I pulled everything together with some turnbuckles and cables, and then repinned everything. And of course took all the caulk out of the deck seams, forward and aft deck, and that's all been recaulked. And I used Sikaflex 291 for the first time on this boat, and it worked great. I really like that stuff. So there was some rod on it. These spray rails, this aft spray rail is new, cut and fit to it. This one is original, and the one on the port side, if you can see, there's a seam, there's a scarf joint right here where I fixed it. But the big problem with these, when they were originally bedded from the factory, if you take off these spray rails, it's concave behind there, and that made it easier for the guys at the factory to fit these, because they only had to take away material at the top and the bottom to fit these. So they're concave. There's like a cove behind there, and they put one little bead of bedding or caulk behind that and stuck them on. Well, there's a void in there, and water gets in there and it sits, and it rotted out this transom plank back here. So from here, from this seam down, is a new transom plank, and then I put the new spray rail over that. Same with these. This back end got rotted because of that. Luckily, the hull sides were okay. On other boats I've seen, they'll take those hull side planks, they'll just rot them right away also. So there's been a little bit of work back here with the plank and the spray rail, and then there was some rot up on this top plank here on the starboard side. That's the one with the big curve in it. That's been replaced. And then there's some Dutchmen throughout the boat, like there's one there. This plank here, I didn't want to have to fit that if I didn't have to. There was a little bit of rot up here, but you can see there's a Dutchman in there, and that's all secured and glued in there. And then there's a couple more Dutchmen back here on the near the transom band. Back under this spray rail, there's another Dutchman in there where there was some rot, and I got it down to good wood and then glued some new wood in there. There's another one up here somewhere. There's one right here, Dutchman. But once the boat's all faired and shiny, you don't really, that stuff kind of goes away. And it's better than putting any kind of epoxy filler or and putty or anything like that. It's best to just router that area out to good wood and just glue wood back in there. If it's not too big, that's not, you know, that's not real big. So, and I think there's a backer in there to glue to. And then the bottom on this was done a few years ago, so that's good. It's got the new waterline, nice crisp waterline on it. I'll show the inside. I like that green interior. Here's a good shot of the deck. I like these side decks. I use a longboard on these side decks, and when you get back here, you could really tell. See how nice and fair that is. Yeah. Like as you're looking back there. He did have a little bit, couple things re-chromed. He had these two front vent clamshells re-chromed, and the bow light. And once this the whole side, all the shims were in it and it was refastened and rebunged, then this was faired with longboards. The way I do it, I go up and down, fore and aft, and then crisscross, and you can see that it's real nice and fair now. So there it is. Well, that'll do it for the completed 1955 22-foot Chris Craft Continental. All right.